When you play in that space, when you come back home, you will become a different animal altogether. Because nothing will ever phase you. We lacked the ambition.
Sure.
You understand? Kona lento ekuthiwa usheshe usuthe.
Yeah.
You know, after winning the MTN 8, we were supposed to be more hungry for more. Because winning MTN 8, it made us all believe, actually, you know, you get the beds, you can see even the beds that even the prisoner won't be able to sleep in these beds. The food is terrible. It's mental more than anything, because the transition from what you are used to something way different.
Sure.
You understand? But we had international players. I got a call from Screamer. Hey, Sia. Hey, hot man. Hey, how are you? I know I'm good. I'll be in Durban in the next coming 2 days. Can we meet up? I know, sure. What is this about? No, we really like you. We think you'll be a perfect fit with Orlando Pirates.
Sure.
We've been monitoring the progress.
Sure.
So we will even have a conversation with your chair lady, and then we see. At that time, more than anything, I don't want to lie to you. I was just saying, God, ungakuthatha konke empilweni yami, but ungangicisha amandla ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi nginakele umndeni wami.
Welcome to Legacy Locker Room. Before we even go anywhere, I'd just like to mention that we just finished an amazing interview with Banyana head coach, or Dr. Desiree Ellis. And now we are, I would say we've changed guard, but we have another guest this afternoon. And he needs no big surprise because we all know who he is. He's a legend. He goes by the name of Siya Ndazwane Mangete, who played for Golden Arrows and Mamelodi Sundowns. And we're also joined this afternoon by our guest, Kabatede. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Sure, Michael Kran.
Mr. Zwane, you've had an amazing soccer career, my brother. I want to know from you where the love of football started, and maybe some of the challenges that you experienced as a youngster, getting into football, and eventually getting your break and playing for a team like Golden Arrows.
First of all, I would like to thank God, especially for this opportunity, and thank you guys for inviting me. If I talk about football, you know, I get emotional because it helped me to escape from a lot of stuff, especially childhood. I grew up without knowing who my father was. My mother died when I was 12. I was raised by my late grandmother, who also died when I was doing matric. So after that, I was basically on my own. You know, I had no one, no point of reference, no blueprint for advice. There was no go-to person for me at the time. So I needed to navigate life on my own, you know. So there was no one who was working at the time. When my grandmother died, because she was the sole breadwinner, she was a domestic worker. So when she died, when I was doing matric, after that there was no one to put food on the table. So I decided that because I have a talent and I love this game, and also to go back to your question, I also come from a family of football, because there was a soccer team at home. Omalume babedlala ibhola ekhaya. They used to take me to a ground, ngiyobabuka, bengibelethile. And I think the love of football started from there, you know. And now I started playing football for my junior sides back at home for my team. I go Istuto, Leicester City, Ngakula. I ended up playing for Marispec City. But after Ikati Zombulelo Mabizela, no Chimitao, that's when we joined after. So after Marispec City, I realized with not that they were not paying me much, but I felt I needed more because of the responsibilities that I had at home. So one day I heard that Golden Arrows, they are having trials. So I decided to take a shot, you know. So I went there. I only tried for one day. At that time, umuntu wayesaphethe with the late Mr. Roke Madlala, may his soul rest in peace. When I got there, they were playing 11 versus 11. When I got there, there were guys like Abo Pilani Shange, Jabulo Mangana, Nhlanhla, Nhlanhla Ngubane waseMaritzburg babembiza ngo-B kwaukhona nje amajita lawo engikhuphuke nawo vele ngaya first team. So I was playing against uPhilani Shange noNhlanhla noNjabulo Manqane. They switched sides on me. So I think they wanted to test if ukuthi ngingakwazi yini ukuthi ngibe umunye wabadlali beLamontville Golden Arrows. So I think the way that I managed to lock them, I think that's what made Uroke Madlala to say, you know what, I think we need this boy. Because after the training session, he called me and he said, you know what, we are gonna take you home. We're gonna tell whoever is there ukuthi siyakusayina because kusasa sifuna uze Lamont nempahla zakho. That's when everything like really started for me.
You know, in everything you're saying, what really interests me the most is your mentality at the time. You were young, you lost your mom at a young age, you lost Ukoko that was taking care of your whole family. You know, a young boy at your age being exposed to Abangani, there's so many things that can take you out of the way. You know, Amatomazane, Chwala, you know, the things that are happening in Pakatini. But what kept you so focused towards it as a young person? Yes, I want to take care of my family, but there's all these challenges in peer pressure. But you were able to beat peer pressure. What was your driving force?
I always say that you when you are coming from nothing, you don't need anybody else to motivate you, because your motivation is your situation. I looked around and then I realized, you know what, I need to sacrifice everything. I need to make sure that I have my eyes fixed on the goal, and the goal was to make sure that I put food on the table, and I had to kill all that noise. Go out and have fun, you know. I had to make sure with all those distractions, I kill all of them, and then I focus on what was important, and what was important was to make sure I put food on the table. So. And more than anything, growing up, I was a very disciplined young man, even at school. I always knew what I wanted, so it was not easy for anything to make me turn my head at the time, because there was a lot of people who were counting on me, and it was never about me anymore.
Sure.
It was about my sisters, my brothers, all my siblings who were counting on me.
Let's talk about the legacy Maritzburg City. Some players moved from Maritzburg City, they went to Orlando Pirates, Abo Jimmy Tau,
Yes.
Abo Mbulelo Mabizo. Talk to us about the legacy Maritzburg City. Because abantu abaningi sebayikhohle ukuthi ayikhona.
Yeah, I think Ombulelo, ama move Ombulelo no Jimmy Tau and the other guys, they made us believe it's possible. You understand? So abadlali abaningi at the time, they all wanted to go to Maritzburg City because they knew a lot of scouts now, because of Ombulelo, no Jimmy Tau, a lot of scouts, they are looking at Maritzburg City. So we realized that if you go and play for the team, obviously there are people somehow who are watching. You understand? So at the time, when everything started, Ngabo Mbulelo nabo Jimmy Tau, I think even before then, I think Ubabu Hlope already he had built something beautiful,
solid,
you know, at the time. You know, because you look at all these players, how talented all these players were at the time. Because most of them, if you check, most of them, they didn't struggle when they got into those Simbu PSL from Umvela League at the time to just go straight into a big brand like Orlando Pirates, to go straight into starting 11 and becoming irregular. So it means there was a lot of work that was that was happening at that time with Maritzburg City. So yeah, kudos to the coaches that were there at the time, and also boss Ubongi Hlope. What an amazing job that they did at the time.
You moved from Maritzburg, you coming to Durban. There was this issue. He called ukuthi uqhamuka umuzodlala leThekwini uyibhari. Musuka lapha eMaritzburg umuzodlala usuka kumhlathu. Isithathu sibeke ufika kwiArrows team yaseKasi ufika umfana waseMaritzburg. Banalento ukuthi bayaklasana. How was it?
You know, I've always said, even to the younger boys, if you want to succeed in this game, vele kumele ube nyoni.
Sure.
You understand? Because when you get there and then you think ukuthi I know it all, you will even not put yourself in a position to be teachable. Because in football you will always be a student. No matter who you are. But when you get into the spaces and then you feel abantu abaningi who are more talented than you, all that you need to do is to pay attention to everything that they are doing right, and make sure that you steal whatever it is that can also help you as a player. And me, I didn't care, because angiphuzi angibhemi, I was never that cool guy. You understand? Because me now, I've always said, ekhaya, we might play the same game, but we are coming from different homes and our situations are not the same. I'm not gonna react the way that you react, even though we are brothers. But I need to look and see, even if I do this thing, how will this thing benefit me as a person? It's okay. You know, image just so that whether you can like me or not. I just didn't care about that. For me, I had a bigger fish to fry, which is making sure that I put my family in the best position possible.
But for you fried that fish because you officially got your contract. Take us through that emotion when you got your first official contract to play in the PSL, playing for Golden Arrows, my brother.
To be honest, it was a bittersweet feeling, mainly because my grandmother, the way that she raised me, all the struggles that she went through, she never really got, you know, to
experience.
Yeah, to get anything out of all these sacrifices, all these sweats, all these fruits. When I got them, I was happy, but the most important person that I really wanted her to see me in that position, you know, it was her, but she was no more. You know, she was gone. But I was happy only because I was gonna be able to take care of everyone at home and also to be able to change because you know emakhasi kuba no 2 room masukuba nama rooms odaka or amaplango so ekhaya kwase kwama room lo odaka so priority yami was to make sure ukuthi I ngibhidliza yonke leyo nto leyo and then ngakhe ikhaya libe lihle. So in my mind it was mainly because I know ukuthi I'll be able to put food on the table. And the joy of knowing that now I'm gonna be able to start and buying blocks, you understand, so that I can be able to build ikhaya. So for me, that was like everything.
Let's talk about Usugiyoni Arrows. That's team. Mina now let's khuluma leyo team. Yeah, Coach Manqoba. That team that won MTN 80, that team that no one thought at that time kwakunalento ukuthi iTheku seliyavuka even musically. I remember during that time kwakunalento yabo Big Nazi nabo Durban Finance and the Arrows ithatha alone they change everything. Take us through that moment. Naleso sikhathi nale team le Arrows le yenze his.
I've always said ukuthi more than anything in the team there was a lot of brotherhood. I remember the time when we were, before we even had cars, because the cars came after the MTN 8. After each and every game, or each and every training session, we'll meet at a certain spot. Sonke, ama-cheat. And then we will get a taxi, Twalisi taxi, kube ngazuthi taxi, a club. Kanti vele sibaningi Twalisi taxi. We will go together to the training field. We will train. After training, sesinaleyo taxi, unifike ngesilani. Again, isithathe futhi leyo taxi ibuye isibeke eLokhuzane eThekwini and then ihlukaneke ngokuthi ke we are staying in different locations. So besides the talent, there was a lot of brotherhood. You understand? And when it came to talent, the players that are a lot of stuff that players that are doing today are the things that I could see Gulamonville Golden Arrows back then. From Baba Mshengu breaking the line. I saw that from Unjabulo, Ulokhuzane, Uthokozane Mshengu. I never knew about that. Okay, Coach Manqoba will talk about it, but now he spoke about it because Usabona Mshengu, there's this quality, there's this thing Mshengu was again that the other wingers are starting to do. When I go to Sundowns, I learn more about it. Oh, that is breaking the line. You understand? When you receive the ball, when the midfielder receives the ball, maybe from the other side, the moment it turns, the full back and the center back, the run that he does in between, they call it breaking the line. I didn't know about that, but Mshengu did that natural. So I'm talking about natural talent. Unjabulo Manqana will tell you, or to pass me the ball even when there's someone behind. Easy. Yes, you understand? Those things, they don't happen nowadays. You see wingers, they will choke the full back and then they will turn back. You can't see one versus one winger eliminating their full back like before. But these boys, Onjalo Manqana, Lopula Nishang, they love doing that. You understand? They wanted the ball because they wanted to make sure they eliminate the opposition full back. Kunezinto nje uthandise kubona that most teams are doing now, build up from the back. When two center back they open and then the defensive midfielder he has to drop. and start the build-up to join the two centre backs. Ukuboni was doing that even when I knew about it.
Yes,
I was like, how is this guy able to do this? Because the moment you go and then you want to receive the ball, there's always people that are coming to press you, but he could easily skip that press with just one pass because he always knew what to do. Before he could receive the ball, Thandiswe Khuboni knew where the ball was gonna go.
Sure.
And there's never a day I saw Thandiswe Khuboni being dispossessed, and then we continue the call from there. And then when I went to Sundowns, I see that from Mhlophe Kekane, it was always drilled. Mhlophe Kekane,
yeah.
do this, do that. But Khuboni, it was happening natural. Nobody drilled
Yes,
that.
yes.
You understand? I'm talking about natural talent.
Sure.
Let's talk about that legacy of your team. If ngikhumbula kahle, Kagiso Dikgasho moved from this team to England.
Yeah.
Then Khuboni was the only player at Golden Arrows
Yes.
to play in the FIFA World Cup. Just into ukushintsha labakhona after that, M10-8, Kagiso Dikgasho moved to EPL, Khuboni adlale kwiBafana Bafana.
I think that was a game changer. You understand? And also Nazi in terms of mindset.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing for these teams, you don't have that thing that says you would know it's possible. When all that you are thinking about, hey, if I can get a chance and get to Kaizer Chiefs or Orlando Pirates, you understand? But seeing those moments happening in front of you, we kind of looked at everything differently.
Sure.
You know, I remember the day when I was having the conversation with Tamachit and it's guys, I think the most important thing right now is to make sure that we protect this dream.
Sure.
If you have a dream of playing with La Liga, try and protect it because there's a lot of stuff that is happening around us. You understand? That can make sure we don't get there. So we need to try and protect this dream as much as possible.
Sure.
There are women, there's alcohol, there are clubs, there's this and that. Try and protect this dream so that it can be possible. We saw it from Abo Khuboni, Kagiso Dikgasho. I think more than anything, we were very, very, very motivated by that. You understand?
Yeah.
As I said before, they made us believe.
Yes.
Guys, it is possible. Don't not dream of playing for Kaizer Chiefs. How about you dream about playing in the EPL like Kagiso Dikgasho?
Yes.
How about you dream about playing in the World Cup like Thandiswe Khuboni? It is possible. But you have to sacrifice a lot of stuff for you to get there. And more than anything, you must have faith.
Mageta, I think you touched on it very nicely when you said there was brotherhood, you know, at Golden Arrows, and to see the players that you played with achieve the things that they achieved, and also for you to also get a call up to play for one of the biggest clubs in South Africa, you know, it shows you that there was something right that was being done at that club. Surely there was a recipe that we can maybe handpick and say, this is this. What can you handpick and say, you know what, this is what was done right at Golden Arrows that got the recipe right for all the brothers to excel?
I think more than anything, Coach Mangoba, there's this thing that I used to say, you must work on the player's mind. Make the player see things that we don't see. So isn't that can make you to see like with a spiritual eye. When a coach sits with you 1 versus 1 and then he tell you this beautiful lie and says, I'm building this team around you. You understand?
Sure.
You are the best right back in this team, and I believe if you can be consistent on your game, you can actually go and play for Bafana. And actually, I believe you are the best right back in the country. That alone, you go into those 4 lines, into the training pitch, believing you are the best. And you could see Amachita, they will, like from the very first minute, Abambi Paul, Chakli Shasha is saying, already, there is a confident booster from everybody. And even Nagi on the channel, we will tell the opponents,
Sure.
Already, we are trying to put fear. And it's a mind game. It's a mind game. Because as much as we play football with our feet, but more than anything, it's psychological. So Coach Mangoba, it's not like it did so much, but it made us all believe. We might be playing for a so-called smaller team, but we are more talented than these other people. It's just that these people, they are in a more better position than us. But more than anything, nothing separates us from these people. So that was a game changer.
So obviously at the time you were playing good football, and you knew eventually there was going to be a phone call that was going to come your way. Which phone call were you expecting the most? Was it going to be Pirates? Was it going to be Chiefs? Or Mamelodi Sundowns? Or possibly a move overseas? Which call were you expecting at that time?
At that time, more than anything, I don't want to lie to you. I was just saying, God, ungakuthatha konke empilweni yami but ungangicisha amandla ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi nginakele umndeni wami. Because I could see ukuthi now we are getting relegated and I didn't know the plans of the club because mind you, when you are going down, obviously it means that the salaries safana. You understand? And you need to understand. You understand? So for me, more than anything, I was just praying for that. I just need to make sure that I can be able to support my family. That was it. I was not waiting for a call from Sundowns or Pirates, Chiefs, but growing up, I grew up supporting Kaizer Chiefs. It was my childhood dream to play for Kaizer Chiefs. But at that time, more than anything, I was stressed. I would say, if I lose this job, it's not just me who's gonna suffer, but I've got a lot of people. You understand? Abazo Safarisha. So for me, I was like, I just need to get a job. That was it at the time.
And they are figure Sundowns, we are relegated. If you are kanjani move yakhe Sundowns, usathu sibeke nokuthi siyazi ukuthi make figure move kusuka khona amanye amaqembu vela kushelayo. Yabo vele ku relegation mhlambe namaZulu aye khona la ayithi hayi no ngeke akazi ukuhamba siyamdinga. Awusathu sibeke ngaleyo moment kufika iSundowns ifika nini iSundowns kuwe yenzeka kanjani ideal?
I remember we played the last game of the season against Orlando Pirates. I say my Peter the game. I think in that game, Orlando Pirates had to win so that they can win the league. Excuse me. The team decided that all the senior players, they will not participate because now, Bona, they were preparing for life after Ilo Kuzani, EPSL, because already it was confirmed.
Sure.
Now we're going to get relegated, whether we win or we lose the match.
Yeah.
So, on that day, they decided all the senior players, they're not going to take part in this game, but Uzwan is the only senior player that is going to take part in this game. We're going to give him a captain's armband for the first time, and then we're going to take all these young boys. You understand? Contracts in the PSL. I'm the only one who's going to play that game. And the way that we played with those youngsters on that game, it kind of told me something.
Sure.
And it made me believe I might get a contract after this game.
Sure.
Because the way that we played and the way that I played on that day, I think it was something that Unkulunkulu has already done.
Predestined.
I'm gonna expose you. Even though it's the last time, it's one of those games where nobody cares about Ilamontville Colin Arrows. Everybody cares about Orlando Pirates winning the league. But me, I'm gonna make you shine in a way that even those teams that they were not paying attention to you, but they will pay attention. Yes, they will pay attention to you. So after the match, when it happened, I think after 3 days, I got a call from Screamer.
Hey,
Sia. Hey, hot man. Hey, how are you? I know I'm good. I'll be in Durban in the next coming 2 days. Can we meet up? I know, sure. What is this about? No, we really like you. We think we'll be a perfect fit with Orlando Pirates. Sure. We've been monitoring the progress.
Sure.
So we will even have a conversation with your chair lady, and then we see as long as now we can agree on personal terms. We say, okay. Oh no, thank you. I'm excited. You understand? Yes. Remember, I'm at home and I'm like, yo, man. Do you understand? And remember, I'm worried, I'm stressed, but at that time, there are also people around me who are stressing me because there's this lot of questions.
Yes.
What is going to happen now? You understand? I don't have answers for these people, and then out of nothing, then I just received this call.
This phone call.
You know,
sure.
While I was still excited to go and meet Screamer, and then Coach Mangoba calls me. Now you can see how Unkulunkulu works. You understand? From you expecting nothing, but you are getting more. Coach Mangoba, he calls me like, hey, Dot. Sekufuna like Sundowns.
Yo.
There's Ramashwe Mphahlele, there's Bryce Moon. We believe you are better than these people. You understand? So we want you to come. And then he started to tell me about each game, when you win, when you're in the team, this is how much you're gonna get. Can you see which will end up not using your salary?
Sure.
I was sold.
Sure.
One, I was sold the fact that I'm gonna be coached by my former coach, someone who gave me my biggest break.
That's it, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Someone who believed in me
Yeah.
when everybody was saying, we don't think that this boy
Yeah.
is ready.
Yeah.
But the coach said no, against all odds. He said,
Sure.
no, this boy is going to play. I remember we were playing in Cape Town, my first game. They said, no, you can't give him his debut at Cape Town against the Santos. And the Santos at the time was something.
Yeah, a good team.
And
Yeah.
it was difficult to play at Cape Town. He said, no, I believe with this boy is ready.
Yeah.
You understand? So when he called me, it was a no-brainer for me. I was like, I was not even thinking about the meeting anymore. So I was just thinking about going to Sundowns
Sure.
and also reuniting with my former coach.
Wow.
So I just agreed. I said, coach, please tell them to give me an offer. I said, no, someone has called me today. And someone did call me today. They gave me a call. Hey, see, what, give us your email address. I gave them my email address and then we're going to send you a contract. They sent me a contract. Hey, I looked at it like, I called immediately. I said, where are we doing the medicals?
But about football figure, like, hey, I'm a superstar, you know, and now you have to fight for your starting place in the starting 11. You know, who was your biggest challenge at the back in order for you to get a starting lineup?
Everybody was a challenge, to be honest, because when you get into a player like Sundowns, there are a lot of talented players. You know, I wouldn't want to say of all the guys that I competed with, there was someone that I felt you would say
Sure.
I was better than them you know, at the time. I just felt that you look at a player like Bryceman, highly offensive. He was a winger, so obviously being offensive with him comes natural. And then there's Ramahlon Patel, is the captain of the team. And here I am, I'm coming from a so-called small team, Ilamonville Golden Arrows. I looked at that because at the time Bryce was coming from Greece. I think Panathinaikos, if I'm not mistaken. And he was also a Bafana International.
Regular.
Yes, he was playing for Bafana. So I went into that space knowing that it was never going to be easy for me. But I needed the challenge. I needed that kind of test because that was the kind of test that makes you to grow as a player. Because if you don't want to tap into such spaces, you're not going to elevate to the next level. A lot of people were against me signing because they felt that it was a career suicidal. You understand? But I said to myself, more than anything, I'm gonna be able to put food on the table for my family,
for your family,
and I'm going to get there. It's not like I'm gonna be there on my own. There's also Coach Mangoba. That also alone gave me a little bit of a comfort. But I knew it's not like any favor. I needed to work, and naturally I was a hard-working player, so there was never a problem. But to say there was that person who was more of a challenge, I'll be lying. I looked at all of them with the same eye.
Wow.
You understand? So out of respect, you know. So I told myself that I need to get there and I need to work my socks off. Whatever that I was doing at Lamontville Colonero, and now I need to double it.
Yeah.
You understand? So yeah.
Manje ukhuluma ukuthi there are people who are against imove yakho yakwi-Sundowns. Uyirejecta kanjani iPirates nokuthi ifika kanjani le rejection yakho ukuthi usujoin iSundowns? Uyambona uBrasten after that meeting or umtshela kanjani?
No, that meeting never happened, to be honest. But I out of respect, because you don't have to burn any bridges in football.
Yeah.
And whatever that he did, it was a humble request, you know, to say, can we meet and discuss these things? If you like whatever that you are putting on the table, okay, you are welcome. But Tina, we like you, would like to have you. So I needed to pick up the phone, you know, to call him and be like, hey, Brasten, this is what is happening. Mamelodi Sundowns is offering me this much. But I was not telling him just because I wanted him to counter the offer. I was basically telling him that I've made up my mind, that this is the club that I choose to sign with. You understand? he took it well because there were a lot of stuff that we discussed in that meeting based on the finances and also going there and meeting my former coach. You understand? So he looked at all those factors as well, and then was like, okay, boy, but if it doesn't work out there, you must know there's always room for you to come to Orlando Pirates. And it did happen. There was a time, I think my third season, when things were not working out for me, he did give me a call again. He said, hey, we still want to see you here. You understand? So if anything happens, they don't renew your contracts, then please give me a call. And fortunately enough, they gave me a call at Sundown. They said, would like to still continue to have you here. What do you say? And I decided to stay for another 2 years.
Let's talk about the contrast of playing for a team that's fighting to stay in the PSL, and then now you get this massive offer to go to Mamelodi Sundowns. Now you join a team that's got superstars and a team that wins on a regular basis. I mean, that's a complete mental switch for you, you know, coming from a team that's always fighting, you know, to at least qualify for the top 8 so we can play in the MTN 8. But now you're in a team that is always competing for the title and you're playing around a camp that knows how to win. I mean, how does that feel as a player?
I think it's as I said to you before, it's all in the mind. You understand? I remember the very first day I walked into those Mamelodi Sundowns premises. I get into the change room. I see the Surprise Moriri, Ezom Nyandoro, Tiko Motise, I'm like, hey, what is going on here?
Sure.
There's those moments where you feel like you can just pinch yourself just a little bit, you know, just to test if you are alive or you know, that aura of all those players, you understand? And also when you enter the door, that energy from them, it's coming to meet you before you can even meet them, you know. By the time as you go on to greet each and every player, you realize that these are very, very good human beings. Very, very good. They were very nice. They were very, very welcoming. And also, Surprise Moriri was a big brother to me. Tiko Motise was also a big brother to me. Those are the people who prepared me mentally to say, you know what, do what you do best. Whatever that you were doing at Golden Arrows, try and learn as much of how things are done here because it's different. Just tell yourself that this first season you are gonna be a student. You are in the class, you are trying to learn how Sundowns is playing, and also go to the coach. Don't be scared to ask Peter, oh coach, what is it to expect of me? Because where I was playing defensively, I was a defender, I was a right back. But here, I have to play as a right wing back. There's a difference. You understand? Because you are playing for a team which is mostly under pressure. So you are doing more defending than going forward. So right where you're going at Sundowns, you're going to do more of offensive play. You're no longer a right back as a defender. You are a winger. We understand? So it was just that change of mindset, trying to do more extra training to be better in that last stage. You know, obviously I had more entry in school last stage because of my work ethic and my engine. You understand? I could get there. But the problem is that when you get there, what do? You don't just cross for the sake of crossing. A cross there is not just a cross, it's a pass. You pick someone. So you must pay attention to those little details in your game to make sure that when you look at a player, as I said before, a player like Price Moon, when you get into that last step, it becomes natural because he's a winger. Me, when I get into a position where I need to take someone on 1 versus 1, I don't even have a step over. And Price says a step over. So I need to sit down with Price. Sometimes in football, you need to be humble. You understand? When you get into these movements and then what do? You know, and then he will share whatever he has to share. But obviously, because you guys are competitors, you won't share everything. But I needed to learn all of how I can be better going forward. So I think that helped me the transition from being a defender and now to being a player who's highly more offensive.
Let's talk about the coaching and the journey in 2016. Lana when I call CAF. You have Coach Rulani, Coach Mangoba, Coach Pito. Kunabantu abasenama assumption noma basenembuzo about leya trio e-coaching usebenzile nabo. Take us through coaching yalaba bantu. What made them special during the time?
I've always said that a team is more like a band. When the guitarist is not there, the music won't sound good. So when Coach Peter is not there, then the team is not going to perform the way that everybody expected to perform. You understand? So what I'm trying to say, everyone was important. You understand? Coach Mangoba, you'll see Coach Mangoba was more involved in the players that are not playing regularly to keep them motivated.
Sure.
You understand? To tell them, no, boys, don't worry. You might not be playing today, but you are still the most important. You are still important in this team. You play an integral part in this team success.
Yes.
So don't give up. So every day he will have such conversations with the players. So make them believe that okay, my chance is gonna come, but also to prepare them because a chance favors a prepared mind. So when the chance comes, to get them ready for whatever that's gonna come, to prepare them psychologically and also physically. You understand? That was his role. Coach Rulane was the one who was mostly taking care of my training sessions. He was the one that was conducting my training sessions, my passing drill, my training drill, and how the team needs to play and how you need to move as a player. The playing patterns of the club, he was the one that was responsible for that. Coach Plito was more important in terms of the tactical side of things. You understand? I think on Thursdays mostly, it was tactical training. Everybody knew that this is Coach Plito's day.
Yeah.
It's tactical. You understand? All the other days is Coach Rulane, and Coach Mangoba is busy with the guys that won't be playing on the weekend, just to keep them sharp, just to also even on friendly games, them to organize, just to keep them in the same fitness level. So everyone is important, because if there's no Coach Mangoba, then it means if someone gets injured and then someone gets suspended, they won't get a player that is ready to come in and make immediate impact. If there's no Coach Rulane, we wouldn't know how the team must play, where you must go, how the team must structure.
Yes.
You understand? If there's no Coach Peter Musimane, that aura of him being there for a tactical training and telling you where to go, what to do, then something was not going to go right. And also the working chemistry between them.
Sure.
It was very good.
Wow.
There was never a day where you could see that they are fighting. No, there was always that common, that understanding between the three of them. Nobody stepped in anyone's toes. When it's Coach Peter Musimane's day, Coach Mangoba and Coach Rulane respected that. Same goes with the other coaches.
Let's talk about the journey.
Yeah.
The journey.
Yeah.
CAF. And you win at 2016. I was start to speak because I remember what Leo CAF Champions League nasen phumile.
Yeah.
Nasen phumile nabuyiswa imithetho ye CAF.
Yes.
Start to speak nje ngaleya season because now wina ne league lapha. Now wina ne treble.
Yes.
I was start to speak ngaleya season nokuwina lezi ndebe lena yiwina. Ni wina kanjani?
For you too. That season was, till this day I still look back at that season.
Sure.
And I say it was my best season in football, to be honest. That season, more than anything, it was taxing, like psychological.
Sure.
You needed to be mentally strong, because mind you, there's a lot of matches.
Yeah.
You understand? We went into CAF, we get eliminated, as you said, Imteto. Yes, Buisa. I'm not saying with Imteto, I'm saying it's fate.
Yeah.
Because after that, we went all the way to win the CAF Champions League. So to juggle from domestic football into a game like Kuzan CAF, because there were days where you would play on Wednesday and then on Friday you need to go and play and travel to play a game on Sunday. So it was, not more than anything, physically it was taxing, it was draining, but more than anything it was mental exhaustion.
Sure.
Because now, remember, there's not even time to be with friends and family and all those things. You get there, you from the airports, from when you land, let's say you are going to play in Nigeria. When you land, the game, you feel like the game already, it has started. Already, you can feel. By the treatment you get at the airport. You understand? They will make you to wait until they feel it's time, it's the right time for them to assist you. Even when you get there, you have to wait for a bus for an hour. The bus has not arrived to take us to the hotel. Sometimes the bus will take you where you are supposed, the hotel is here. Instead of going there, they will just go that side. Before they can get there.
These are mental games.
Yes, mental games.
Sure.
You get there, the beds, you can see even the beds that even the prisoner won't be able to sleep in these beds. The food is terrible. It's mental more than anything, because the transition from what you are used to something way different.
Sure.
You understand? But we had international players
Sure.
who were playing for Bafana Bafana, who have experienced.
They've been exposed to that kind of.
They've been exposed to that kind of football. So they prepared us. You understand? And also the coach. You know, in football, I've always said that it helps to have a coach who has a winning mentality, like Coach Peter Mosimane.
Sure.
That one is a monster of a coach. Because he sees things that you look at those things and like, I don't want to such a chance. But that guy is a believer. Angiyazi sabantwana ngibahezi bekhuluma ukuthi umakhala njalo, but ukhala kufanele.
Sure.
Ukhala kufanele because
all of them
the amount of work that he puts in.
Yeah.
The amount of work that if you can stay a day with that guy, you will think that he's crazy. If you can stay a day with Rulani, you will think that he's crazy. Same thing with Coach Manmob. You understand? Because they eat, they sleep, they drink. Everything about them is football.
Sure.
So to get into that space and also to come back, the CAF Champions League, it prepared us. Because when we came back, we became monsters. We won 20 games in a row.
Yeah.
We were unbeatable.
Unbeatable, yeah.
We were unplayable. You understand? Many teams, they didn't even know how to play against Imamalti Sundown. Because even if we could go to the change room at half time with 2-0, we had the mental strength to come back.
Yeah.
You understand? We were fearless.
Sure.
You understand? Because of the experience that we got that side. And being in the space as well, with all the fans that were, because from the moment you enter the change room, already you can see, as I said, from the airport, already the game has started. When you get into the stadium, the insults you get from the fans. And me, I'm playing as a right back on the side. The fans, the things that they were saying.
Sure.
You understand? Those are the little things, final details. Anga keeper Elokuzan, Ekemini. You understand? Because even your teammates, from this distance, you can't even tell your teammates instruction because of the noise.
Insane.
Everything that is happening there is. I've always said that every player must experience that. For you to say that I have played football.
And not afraid.
You need to go to that space. That's why I was sad when Namontville Golden Arrows couldn't go into a semi-final and final in the Nedbank Cup, because I wanted these boys to experience what it's like to play that side. Because when you play in that space, when you come back home, you will become a different animal altogether. Because nothing will ever faze you. You understand? So being in that space for me, I wished I had that opportunity when I was still playing for Namontville Golden Arrows. Because if I had that experience before going to Mamelodi Sundowns, I think I was going to be a regular player even for Bafana Bafana in terms of the mental twitch.
Let's talk about the KZN football. The importance of having our teams to compete. We stages no compete for big things, because in that KZN mentality yakhona sifuna top 8 kuphela mes qualify for top 8. Muthi uyabheka uthi Galaxy basha sebena indebe, Baroka FC sehlathini nendebe, Poloko isekhukhune iyafika kwi final, Cape Town City seku NFD inendebe. La iKZN zagcina ngendebe ngani? Yini lento ekufanele sishintshe?
When you asked me that question, I remember our decline in Namontville Golden Arrows after winning the MTN 8.
Sure.
It felt like we had this target of if we can get this, after this it's okay.
Yes.
You understand? We lacked the ambition.
Sure.
You understand?
Yeah.
You know, after winning the MTN 8, we were supposed to be more hungry for more. Because winning MTN 8, it made us all believe, actually, you know, because mind you, MTN 8, it's not just any cup, we are playing with the best in the league.
Yeah.
So if you can go all the way among those best 8 and win it while you are playing for a so-called smaller team in Namontville Golden Arrows, we needed to dream bigger.
Yeah.
You understand? this mentality of these teams of saying as long as
And
we
finish
are
in the top 4.
yes, we are putting a roof on your dream and saying if I can get here, then it's okay. As I said before, it's more of a lack of ambition and also not trusting your talent. Because I believe in terms of, there was no way teams like Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates and Santander will scout from the teams from KZN if we are not more talented than most of the players that they have at their disposal. So I think more than anything, it's all mental. You know, you need a coach like Coach Mangoba who has been there,
Yes.
who can be able to instill that kind of mentality to say, boys, you know what, you can actually win the league.
Yeah.
I think Atazwane has came to Amazulu
To resurrect.
and make
Yeah.
and make these boys believe it actually it's possible. Now you look at yourself at number 3, there's Sundowns, there's Pirates, and then there's Amazulu. You can, it's just that now it's only 9 games. But if it was maybe 20 games to go, I think it was gonna help Amazulu like psychological to say we can actually steal this thing because we are number 3. You understand? So I like how Amazulu is moving. I like the mentality that Coach Atazwane has instilled for Emma Chitane. But I don't like the fact that in terms of ambition, because you don't, if you are chasing this, then it means that you put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
You had an opportunity to win Nedbank Cup.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
On the Durban City, like.
Oh, what happened to that?
Yeah.
Lamont Chiefs is not there, Pirates is not there, Mamelodi Sundowns is not there. Don't you get into that space of saying, this is my chance?
That's it.
Arrows had a chance. They didn't use the chance. Amazulu had a chance. They didn't use the chance. Thank God. My Durban City is there. I hope and I wish they can
Go
win
the way,
this
yeah.
thing. Because if Arrows could do it, also them, they could do it. But as I said before, it's mental. When I go to Sundowns, I realized that everything that you want to achieve, actually you can.
Yeah.
You understand? It's just that fear and also not trusting your talent. And also looking at other players who are playing for Chiefs and automatically assume that these players are better than me. These players, they are just in a better position than you, but actually they are not better than you.
Let's talk about the issue ejulukisa amakhwapha mesikhuluma ngayo. The issue of former players as KZN not getting opportunities.
Yeah.
Nithini menhleli nawe as uzwane. Uthini mubuka le situation like kuthiwa khona there's lack opportunities zama players as KZN.
Yeah, that is a very sensitive issue. You know, I think it's one of those issues that we do talk about. You know, when there's a Kebet Bapita, you still see guys from Joburg coming in. You know, you look around, you don't see anyone from KZN, no legend from KZN. We've been the guys from Joburg. They've been dominating us for the longest time. You know, I think we tried to talk to abantu abangakwazi basize. I don't know if they are still gonna be able to help us or not. You understand? But it's akuyona into ehlakahle kuthina sonke amachita. You know, because we believe we've got players also who have played in the highest level, who have also achieved a lot of stuff, like the players like Amachita Dlalekol. You know, we've got players who have played World Cup. We've got players like me who only kept Champions League. We've got Abumbulelo Mabizele who played EPL. You understand? So all these things, Nabo Sangweni, they played the World Cup. All these things should count for something.
Yes.
You know, but I think nobody is willing to hear our cry at this point. But we are still hopeful. You know, we are still hopeful. At some point, there's gonna be 1 or 2. And then after that, maybe there's gonna be more. You know, we just need someone who's gonna give us that fighting chance.
Yes.
You know, someone who's gonna be like, hey, let me just give this legend a chance. Let me see. You know, because you look at all these spaces, you don't see anyone. It's disappointing. We sometimes feel like we didn't do enough. You know, but we know that we tried to do what was expected of us. Maybe we did not reach the level that was expected. I don't know. Maybe it's because of so many players in KZN. They lacked discipline. I don't know. There might be a lot of things that are playing against us. You know, but I'm still hopeful that it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Looking at the current status of KZN football right now, I mean, you're a former player. You've got all the experience in the world. Just from your own opinion, what can we do to enhance the supporters coming to the stadiums? Because the stadiums are always empty. You know, it's really, really shocking that we maybe even get half capacity for a local KZN derby. You know, what can be done, Sia, with regards to getting the fans to come to the stadium to watch our local teams and get behind them and to show that KZN has got a beautiful brand of football?
I remember if I normally do make some videos, TikTok, just to motivate Amachita. I had the same cry, you know. I was complaining about there was a game Amazulu and Lamontville Golden Arrows. I mean, I'm saying this is a KZN derby.
Yeah.
Everybody in KZN should be going to the stadium
Yes.
and actually watching that match.
100%.
Because when it's a derby, Pirates the Chiefs. The stadiums are sold out within a day, like in hour. You understand? Yes. They also create nama fan parks. But why is it not happening? Ematimini ala elokuzan KZN. But also maybe now our team they should look into that and also do their own self-introspection. They must also look at themselves in the mirror, because there are a lot of spaces where you need, I will call it friend scouting. You need to try and sell our friends, whatever that you're going to sell them. Whether you more like Shelintombi, Ngamanga, and get them to the stadium. Maybe try and because this team, they do make a lot of money.
Sure.
You understand? They have money. Even though others, they don't have sponsors, but there is enough money to hire maybe 2 passes.
Yeah.
You say there's these 2 passes for Amazulu fans, free of charge. They will take you to the stadium and take you back to a stop a season.
Sure.
I think those 2 passes will make a difference with all the other people abathenga ama-tickets. I think ngawenza umehluko, but I don't think they're also willing to tap into those spaces.
Yes.
You understand? Yeah, for me, it's just that. Ukuthi now our team kumele akhuthaye.
Yeah.
And also having ama games. I was talking to one of Golden Arrows officials. Ngithi mina, why don't you have a legends team Lamontville Golden Arrows? Before each and every home game enu, why don't we have us playing? You tell everybody that Kuboni Nabo Sangweni, Nabo Mbulelo, Nabo Ban, they'll be playing go 12. 12 to 2.
Sure.
They come early
Sure.
to watch our legends.
Sure.
And then Mbagaloga Basapume ground. And then they get to watch Ilokuzan, Amachita who are playing presently. But sometimes you can only advise.
Sure.
You understand? You can only advise, because I believe that initiative will also help in terms of bringing our friends. Because the Chiefs is doing that. Sometimes the Pirates tries to do some things like that. Yeah, our Sundays, my friends, grounding. I think it's more also about ukuthala, go out there, land a band, to give free tickets.
Yes.
You understand? Give out some t-shirts, whatever it is. Go to schools.
Yes.
You know, abantwana baniki ipasi bangene eLokuzana baye grounding. Coach Okimadlala used to do that for Lamontville Golden Arrows. Abanike nama t-shirt. You can see the yellow t-shirts, it's Lamontville Golden Arrows. So yeah.
Let's talk about the specialities Chile the way Golden Arrows. People don't realize the role she is playing kubadlali. I remember ngizwe stories ka Sibisi uBhodlela ukuthi she invested education ka Sibisi. Something people don't really know about ukuthi how she's a mother to the players. Talk to us about the role yakhe ebholeni na kwi Golden Arrows.
For a woman to be able to pay players decent salaries while she does not have a sponsorship, that alone
it's impressive.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
You understand? And for her to be able to play that role of being a mother in each and every player, because she's that kind of a mother where even when you've lost someone in your family, you give her a call and say, Ma, I've lost a certain family member. Can you please give me a few days off? She will give you those few days off, and also she will also give you something financially to assist you. Whether there's a funeral planned at home or not, but that is the role that she plays. Jongo mama, Oguti, take this. You understand? Ngiyazwelana nani, as much as I'm paying you, but nami as umama, because we are fana nengane yami. So mongabu wehlelo into kanjena, because as much as the fact that you are playing for my team, it means that we are family now. You understand? So take this uhambe, even when you are negotiating. No, Sis Manto, she does not negotiate like a boss. You negotiate like uhleli no mama akho. Ma, ekhaya I need to pay. Ekhaya, we don't have this, we don't have that.
Sure.
So me signing this contract, I want to change that.
Wow.
The reason why I'm agreeing to renew my contract with the club because there are certain changes that I want to make in my life.
Yeah.
So as a mother, can you please, even if you can't give me this, but can you please give me this?
Sure.
You understand? And her response is always been like, as long as now as a player, you're gonna continue, you're gonna be consistent. I don't want Mali to change you.
Sure.
You understand? And as much as I cannot pay you as much as Abo Pirate no Kaizer Chiefs, but I will make sure you are in a very good position financially. She's someone that she's not like all the other bosses where you need to talk to that person and that person before you can actually get to
meeting.
But you can actually call this matter direct and say, Ma, I need to talk to you. Ma, I have this problem. I remember when I wanted to play Lobola, I called her and I said, hey, I'm thinking of doing this and this and this. And then said, you know what, if you feel that right now you are in a good position to start a family, do that. I will advise this to all the other players because umsebenzi webhola uyadinga ukuthi impilo yakho ngathi ungayiqoqa ungabi yonke indawo so that uzokwazi to focus emsebenzini wakho. And by the way, you will be motivated more because you know yes, unomama ekhaya, so you will work harder. You understand? So irole yakhe mfethu angazi ngizokuchazela kanjani for you to really have a very a clear picture, you know. But when you have a problem, the first person that comes to mind when I was still playing for Arrows is Sis Manto. We understand. I've never heard even any coach speak ill of Sis Manto.
Sure.
She tries. I remember when I went to Sundowns and then I told them how much I was earning. They're like, Arrows meeting Naya. That is how she tries.
Wow.
She tries.
Sure.
I don't want to lie and say playing for Lamontville Calling Arrows what I was getting with Lamontville Calling compared to Mamelodi Sundowns, it was that much of a huge difference. You understand? It was a good difference. But if Golden Arrows did not get relegated, I was happy to stay. You understand? With what I was getting at the time.
Sure.
You know? So yeah, she tries because to ukwazi ukuthi ulokhuze ubalancise ama finances wakhe teamini, it's ungenaso sponsor, it's very difficult.
Yes.
I've always said that. Someone said to me, hey, but kumele ube ne-team ngathi, do you know how much it costs to manage a team?
Hey.
Do you actually know how much it costs? Angikhulumi nge-team ekubhethe Premiership, ngikhuluma nge-team esemazingeni aphansi. Do you actually know ukuthi how much it costs ukumanager leya team? Baningi abantu businessmen abahlonishwa abawile
through football.
You understand? So for a woman to be in that space and do so well, already that should tell you something about Lo Mama. She's an amazing woman.
Siya ku World Cup already sekune conversation kaMbekezeli Mbokazi. Just before siye khona ku World Cup, let's talk about udlalile noma Bizela, wadlala no Sangweni. Wadlala nama defenders amaningi kwe Sundowns. Umbokazi, they already rating him lapha ya. What's your thought about that? We defender, but we defender now.
The Umbokazi for me is definitely in the top 5. I will place them in no particular order, but there is a Lucas Radebe.
Yeah.
What Lucas has done, has achieved, it speaks volume. I've always said that I don't want to compare these guys because there are certain players that need to be put into a certain space and you must give them respect.
Sure.
Do not dilute what they've done with whatever omunye umuntu akwenzayo. What Umbulelo Mabizela did in his prime as well. No any other defender can do what Umbulelo did. What Usangweni was able to do coming from Lamontville Golden Arrows to go all the way and captaining Orlando Pirates and actually go to Bafana Bafana and becoming a regular. Do not touch that. It's not easy to do that. It might look easy,
But it's not easy.
but it's not easy.
You shouldn't buzz.
You understand? and now we were talking about Umbekezeli Mbokazi. One thing that I like about that boy, it shows that boy is fearless.
Sure.
Yes.
That boy does not crumble under pressure. The way he played for Orlando Pirates, the same way he played with AFCON.
Sure.
You understand? And the mental strength, it's out of this world. You understand? Because Luamfana una lento ukuthi later sizobona sokwenze njani. You understand?
Angihlulo mfana.
Yeah, akekho umfana mina ozongihlula.
Sure.
And I think that superpower alone plays a role. Because Umbekezeli Mbokazi will play against a hot on-form striker. And then we are all waiting to see what is going to happen. And then Umbekezeli has that ability of making an extraordinary striker on that day against him to look ordinary.
Normal.
Ribeiro
You understand? Because Ribeiro was here, but the day he faced that boy, he looked normal.
Very average.
You understand? And also how he's still being able to keep his feet on the ground. How humble that boy is. He went to Chicago, he played there, he came back to Bafana. Look at the level of consistency and you look at his age. And I always said that these people who grew up with Umbekezeli should come and tell us because the thing that this boy is doing at his age. And the uNkulunkulu mbusisile because already he's well built physically.
Yes.
And you look at his height, his aerial prowess, his aerial strength. He competes very, very well. Ground duels 1 versus 1, no chance. The only time I saw Umbekezeli Mbokazi get beaten was when he was playing against that boy from Zimbabwe. I think he did a stopover in Nevala. Yes, that was the only time. You understand? Build up from the back, technically sound. Ayilahla laphayana, akutatazela iyadlala. And for him as a defender to have an eye for a goal. Like the goal that has been able, and it does not score ordinary goals, this boy. I'm a cracker.
Crackers, yeah.
I'm a cracker. And also the leadership qualities to look at the players up front, about Lyle Foster, let me go forward and try. That is the quality of a leader. You understand? Because if you can't do it, I'm going to show you how it's done.
I'm going to show you how it's done.
He tried the first time, he was denied. And then he tried again. And the second time, he was successful. And instead of people criticizing the performance of the Bafana, they spoke about the performance of Umbekezeli Mbokazi. And we've been talking about this boy. And we're still talking about this boy. So,
and I mean, I think another big talking point was his move to Chicago. Because Hugo Broos wasn't too happy about that move. He felt that his agent...
That boy is a flower. Wherever you're going to play some Umbekezeli Mbokazi, it's going to bloom.
Yeah.
Because of his mentality, because of his talent. You know the teams, that boy could have gone to Germany, could have gone to Spain, could have gone to England. Those teams are going to go and fetch him there. Impilo yomuntu bafowethu, it is planned.
Sure.
And sometimes when you will think that the player will need to take a lift, but uNkulunkulu yena uthi no. Because of the player development.
Sure.
You understand?
Powerful.
The kind of knowledge he got from Orlando Pirates, Bafana, and the knowledge that he's gonna get, we're playing in that league, MLS.
Yeah.
Do you know by the time he leaves LMS to go to England, he will be a complete player. By the time, you understand? In Chicago, when they bought Umbekezeli, I said to one guy, listen, this team is smart. This is an investment. With the amount that they bought Umbekezeli, the price, it's nothing compared to what they will make when they are selling.
Yeah.
Believe me when I say Umbekezeli will not come back from World Cup, and this team will make a killing selling Umbekezeli.
Sure.
Some things you will look at them with the physical eye and also and must say I realized when Coach Hugo Bruce make that comment, and I don't know why he's going there. Coach Hugo Bruce, he did not look beyond.
Yeah.
This boy is only 20 years old. Come
21.
on. A lot can change in one season.
In one season, yeah.
You understand? So I believe that this player will symbolize EPL Noma La Liga one day if he keeps his feet on the ground and continue to play. Already everybody's talking about Umbegezeli Bolas. Every platform here, baller, that boy is there.
It's been mentioned, yeah,
out,
that's right.
Man of the match performances. So what will stop him from getting where he's supposed to get to?
Absolutely, my brother.
You speak about Khule Makhaya, Nongamsabo Muyumfana as a defender. How did you deal with the egos of strikers?
You know, the first time I saw a player who had that quality, Usiyabonga Sangweni.
Sure.
Because Usiyabonga Sangweni, he came with that.
Yeah.
Uguthi, I remember the first day he came to Lamontville Golden Arrows. I told Lamachit ngathi Usiya uzo by irregular player. But I they were top defenders at the time. And Usiya was a little bit younger than them. Ngathi mina lo uzodlala and uzodlala ngakaza khisho umuntu. And exactly that it happened. But before I could say it already, and he was showing everybody, I'm gonna play each and every game. First game of the season, Usiya was in the starting lineup. Always the long they watched Usiya until they retired.
Sure.
You understand? Because Usiya, why nale mentality, but no less longer. We could see all the long they were shaking, maybe so but to Usiya was the Penny McCart, no pre-Penny McCarthy. You understand? So Umbegezeli, unale mentality,
same quality, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's the superpower for Bona as a defender among Abunale. Because now I had this thing with me. I wanted to prove to every winger So what I needed to do is to make sure that I work extra hard. That's a I give as much as I get. If you're gonna come to me, I'm gonna come to you there until the coach moves end on. I won't learn that Ishama Costa three dangerous. So from being an attacker, I turn you into a defender. Now you need to chase me. You understand? And when it's time for me to do my job, I will make sure I do my job. Because when the game starts, first, second, I'm marking my territory. I'm trying to tell you I'm trying to you understand? So you need that as a defender. Because the first time you see the ball, it goes through you, and then defense, they start doing that thing. Obviously, as a defender, now we are Kalaman to swear to. From the first minute up until he came in pay.
Yes.
But once you step your authority from the first counter now, signing into me. Araboy. Umbone seqala ehlala la ngaphakathi receive ibhola angafuni ukuthatha on abuyisela ibhola emuva because already you have sent the message.
Ubukhuluma indaba ukuthi umdlalo wamsemakhaya. Just take us through wena as a defender. Ukhona umdlalo okunenkinga wombona ukuthi lo ukube mhlawumbe aseke groundini ayingabe manje sesiqedela ngomthizwa.
Yeah, there was a moment we were playing against Orlando Pirates. I had that kind of a moment to Penny McCarthy. The things that he said, I think more than anything was Bugela Pant, because we are playing for a so-called smaller team, Lamontville Golden Arrows, and Veliena, he was coming from overseas, you understand? A lot of stuff that he said that I can't say on camera, but we tried, you know, and Namachita that I was playing with at the back, they tried, out of respect because of what he has done in football. But there came a time where Kumina, I was like, hi Mara. I'm funny people about losses you understand? And someone had to make sure that he put Penny in his place. You know, so I had to step in and then Sakabana. And well, I did have that thing. You would see I go back up last emotion. You understand? But because we are professional and we also get to understand what he's playing mind games.
He's playing mind games.
Understand? Because you punch him, you get a red card.
That's it.
And then you've let your team down, then you are 10 men. You understand? And let me tell you about the red card. You can from the rush of blood, you will react a certain way, reacting accord. But most also start to shower like change room, our soul. You wish you can turn back the clock. You understand? Because let us cut, you need to have emotional intelligence. Because obviously my man games are matching. And Umdlali, whom I can say really gave me a run. for my man, it was Thulani Serero. Thulani Serero in his prime.
Oh yes.
He was a 21-year-old at the time. He won every accolade that was there.
Yes.
With Lokuzane, with PSL, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he got the top goal scorer. But Thulani Serero with his prime. The problem that I had, I was used to dealing with wingers who are direct.
Sure.
I'm a Franklin Cayley, or Declan Casey. I'll deal with those wingers because I know there's only one thing they want to do. They want to receive the ball, put the ball in their strong foot and whip across.
Sure.
Or even if they are taking you on 1 versus 1, obviously at the end of the day, he'll want to go back. Whatever he does, whether he step over, but he'll want to go back to his favorite foot.
Yeah.
So that it can favor him, he can play across.
Yeah.
Thulani Serero, he will be in between the lines. At that time, I didn't know there was something like pockets. He will just be a centre back, it's me, he will just be here. Now we've got two choices. When they pass to Thulani, you go with Thulani. If you go with Thulani, because the purpose, the tactical plan is to get me out of my good defensive position.
Yeah.
You understand? If I follow Thulani inside, I'm opening a space for their fullback,
Yes.
who is overlapping aggressively to take that space. If I stay and this guy turns, he passes someone, assists someone to score, or he scores, I'm also in trouble.
Sure.
You understand? I had a difficult time dealing with Thulani Serero because every move that I made was wrong.
Sure.
When I go to him, their fullback was coming.
Yeah.
When I decided I'm gonna let him receive the ball and turn, I was also in trouble because every ball that he played, it was dangerous. And the coach was shouting at me. That game, I was like, coach, if there's a possibility that
To be
substitute, I didn't tell him, but that's what I was saying until Coach Mangoba helped me on how I need to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
But that is a player
Yeah.
that gave me a hard time. And I look at Urele now, he reminds me of Thulani Serero 21. Because Urele is that player that you don't know what he's going to do. It's unpredictable. You understand? So it's difficult to deal with a player like that because what you will see Urele is in the shoulder of the defenders. And then once you lose sight of him, he's in between the lines. And then the moment you are like, okay, now I have him, is dropping to receive the ball. The moment he receives the ball, he spins with a half turn, and then he's facing you. He's facing you like this. Already it's a problem because he's a good passer of the ball. You understand?
Yeah.
He receives the ball on his back foot and he's coming to you as a defender. You will think that it's gonna come inside because that footed, and then he drops the shoulder, it goes outside. You don't know what it's gonna do. The same thing that Thulani Serero was good at. And I look at him because now he also has the poison to kill. You see the goals that he scores from nothing.
Yeah.
Thulani received the ball. You think that maybe he's looking for a player to pass. He puts it in his right foot, bangs, top corner.
Do you think it's fair, do you think it's fair to compare Urele, Nobo Serero, and Themba Zwane?
Football, it's about generations.
Sure.
And I've always made this example. You can play the same position and have different qualities. The way Surprise Morillo plays as a number 10, played as a number 10. There's no player who's been able to play as the number 10 like Surprise because of his football acumen.
Sure.
Surprise was not, remember Surprise was slow. But his timing, he was always on time.
On time, yeah.
He was never late. He made sure that the ball was quicker. The ball ran for him. That's Surprise Morillo. You understand? Then there is Thulani Serero. Thulani Serero was quick, was dynamic, was flexible, was skillful. You understand? Same position as a number 10. Thulani Serero has got the same qualities when you look at Urele. Maybe Urele is a more of a clinical player than Thulani Serero because Thulani Serero didn't score as much goals as Urele Mofokeng. We are still talking about one position as a number 10. You look at Mbule, who was tried in that position because Mbule don't have these qualities of Abo Rele. Nabo Thulan Serero. That is why it was difficult for him to be successful. Because in that position, you need a player who's a box-to-box player. So it means you must be in a very, very good physical condition. But Sapaz Moriri was not the player that was in a very, very good physical condition in terms of the amount of ground that he covered.
Sure.
But because he was a smart player, he made playing that position easy. You look at the John Shoes show, the list is endless. So if I compare these players, it will be an insult because they had different qualities.
Yeah.
Same position, but different playing styles.
Yeah.
But you need to give respect to what Themba Zwane did and he's still doing till this day.
Yeah.
You need to give respect to what Urele at his age, what he's been able to do.
Yeah.
And you need to give also respect to what Thulan Serero did in his prime season, like South Africa, before he went to Ajax Cape Town. It's not easy to compete these players because the qualities are not the same. You understand? Because if you need to lift something up and then you're gonna crush something, then that is not right.
Yeah.
You understand? So I don't want to dilute anything when it's come to that. They say comparison is a what?
Yeah.
Is a thief of joy. You understand?
Yeah.
I want to look at Thulan Serero, I would like to look at Themba Zwane and still smile.
Sure.
And still be able to tell my son there was a player like Themba Zwane. As much as we are telling them there was a player like a John Shoes Moshe. You understand? Because if you're gonna speak ill of John Shoes Moshe and then you're talking about Rele Mofokeng, now you are discrediting what John Shoes Moshe, because at that time, in his time, he was him. And Urele right now,
That's it.
he is him.
Yeah.
So we need to embrace Urele and let the boy shine
Yes.
in his gift without diluting what Themba is doing or he did with what Urele is doing currently. Two different players, and in terms of the age gap
Yeah.
and season, kuhlukile kakhulu bafowethu.
Yeah.
So with what Andre Charlie, when he tried,
Yeah.
I think he tried to extend it like I'm extending it. It's just that sometimes
Yes.
ulimi usabadlali bebhola asinasoka kahle.
Yeah.
Because inkulumo yakho when you have played the game, when you sokise kungabi ukuthi because I could not achieve that. Imagine me speaking ill of what Sela Mudau is doing at Sundowns. I should be in a position and like this boy is doing what I was not able to do.
Sure.
And I am his biggest fan because I talked to Umodao. I remember the day when I had a phone call with him. We were playing another position, we were playing tennis, and then we laughed about it. You understand? So this is what, because you must also be able as a legend to open that door for a player to say, hey, hot man, when because you've been in this situation, how were you able to come out of this situation? You understand? There are a lot of stuff that players need to help. Abombule, Otiko, pick the phone as a hot man. Because we are playing the same position like Otiko was successful. Pick the phone.
They still have a role to play.
There's no ego. You don't have to have it. You pick the phone and be like, hot man, Tiko, I would like to have coffee with you. Because there are certain questions.
Sure.
Because I also want to reach your level. This is why these players, they can't reach their full potential. Because of our egos. But the players that they are idolizing about Cristiano and Messi, they win something this season, then they take it away as if nothing happened.
Yeah.
They still go and go and go and go.
Sure.
But now, why can't you do that? Have you ever seen a player winning a play of the season, 3 seasons in a row? It doesn't happen in South Africa.
It doesn't happen.
Because they are shashukusuta, then hunger. Ayikho la elokhuzana emzansi kufika uMbesuma abawina top goal scorer obani la eSouth Africa amajite khona not because of lack of talent. You understand? It's because most of us we come from nothing. Once you get something we are shesha ukusutha when you should get yourself more hungry.
Sure.
You understand? So I think it's just lezo zinto enjalo ezishayayo, but hopefully in the next few years to come,
so even
we'll be in a better position.
So Zwane, even as a player, current players that are currently playing right now, they must seek mentorship from players that have played the game at the highest level.
100%.
I mean, they're more than welcoming them.
Sure. You understand? Pick the phone, call a player. There's a player when I was still playing, when I was young, that I grew up watching. Abombule they grew up watching Abotiko.
Sure.
Even when we were playing for SuperSport, but he wanted to play like Utiko Motisa. So why is it difficult for you to pick up the phone and call Ulo Utiko Motisa? Because there are certain questions that you need to ask. I remember when I made a video about Tumbule, I asked to Chabupule, and at Chabupule, please talk to that boy. Because what you went through, this boy is going
through now.
When Unkulunkulu gave you a second chance, you were able to turn your life around.
Sure.
This guy might not get the same opportunity. You understand? Because you see a lot of zeros when you're still playing. You don't think there will come a time whereby there's no SMS that is gonna come that says deposited. They don't think like that. They don't look at life after football. Life after football is not easy. Even kini lapho uhlala khona kade ulethela ukudla ngetray bakuqele bathi now kuthiwa mfethu ukudla kulapha ku-microwave uzobona so yeah, it's life.
Yeah.
But if they still help,
yes,
go for it. You don't need to pay awukhokhi mali.
Yeah.
Just say khona ngicela ukukubona ngicela sikhulume.
yeah.
I will come.
Yeah. No, look, Bafana now, we're gearing up for the FIFA World Cup. We haven't had the best of warm-up games. You know, the one we drew against Panama, like Kaya, and then we lost against them in Cape Town. Also, the result of AFCON wasn't the greatest. From your own personal opinion, what does Hugo Broos need to do to get the team back to a winning note? And how far do you think we can go this time around at the FIFA World Cup?
I think there are certain lessons that we got from the AFCON. But I don't think we've put ourselves in a position where we are actually exercising those lessons. Lesson number one for me, you realize that we create so many good moments in the World Cup, but we didn't have a player who was clinical and ruthless in front of goals. You had a Foster, you had a Makgopa.
Sure.
Right? You get a chance to look at the matches as a coach. You do your match analysis. You understand? You get into that point where you are self-critical and be like, I think I shot myself in the foot. So now you need to do better. Don't be in a position whereby just because you have built into HCI when awutshelwa. You understand? You stubborn and then you let uvumela lokho ukuthi kubuse, but you don't see ukuthi lokho kubusa kuyakulimaza. Because the truth was there. You don't even have to be a coach to see ukuthi yini kade siyidinga. Number one, you have a Reyners up front, a proven goal scorer. He went and played in the one of the biggest stages of football, Club World Cup, against Amatima Makola Fanabo Totman. The boy delivered. He came back to the country. He continued his fine goal scoring form. This boy has been knocking on your door as a coach Hugo Broos. When are you really gonna open?
Sure.
When are you really gonna open? Because it's not like we as fans, we can't as a population maybe of 3 million, or we are all saying the same thing, and only you are saying no. I don't need. For me, not choosing Reyners, it's got nothing to do about his football abilities.
Sure.
Because a job as a striker, the number one job of a striker is to score goals.
Yeah.
Before we can talk about his hold-up play, his runs, and all the other elements of the game, but what is his job? He's scoring goals. You give Reyners 5 chances at Sundown, he breaks 2.
Yeah.
Surely. And that is a very good rate for a striker. You understand? You look at the centre-back pairing. What was happening in the AFCON? We conceded a lot of goals in that golden zone through our set plays. So what does it say? You need to look at a player that fits a profile, who can be able to win headers for us.
High balls,
yes, who can be able to. We've got very good aerial strength. You do have that player, but unfortunately he's not playing, so we're not going to talk about him because Umvala fits that profile perfectly. But you don't have Umvala because he's not playing regularly in Sundowns. Which other player can you look at? You have a player who played AFCON. You have a player who's been playing ICAF Champions League in the player of Ukekan. You understand? Why don't you call that player? Even if you're not going to start the player, but bring that player as an option. You understand? We moved from that, from one thing that he did right was to realize that we were let down in that midfield. We had a Stole, we had a Tebza, and then we had a Mbule. That midfield collapsed. You understand? There was no balance in that midfield. We didn't have someone who can really give us that control in that midfield. Now Stole is not playing. what do? You brought a Jaden Adams. Now there's balance. There's stability in the midfield. We are looking good when we are playing. Problem solved, number one. Problem number two, in that number 10 position, we didn't see much of Mbule. You understand? He did not live up to our expectations and this good form leading to Ilo Kuzani, Ilo Afcon. It did not perform sharp. Who do you bring? You say, let me try Irele Mufokeng because there were good signs in that last game, which actually Irele can help us. But Irele is gonna be playing 9 cup finals game, our Betway Premiership, with the quest of Orlando Pirates to want to win the Betway Premiership. If this boy gets fatigued, the same mistake we did there to rely on Mbule. When Mbule could not perform, we didn't have any other option.
Sure.
You have a Thembinkosi Lorch who has proved himself beyond any reasonable doubt. You're gonna tell me that Lorch is old. He can't perform. Did you not learn in these African countries that there is still a man who's still playing for Senegal?
Yeah.
What is it that you learned as a coach? Nobody talks about age. As long as you are performing, because as a player, you need to be charged on what you do on the pitch.
On your performance.
And you look at Ulo Kuzan Lorch. Lorch has been performing. He's a number 10. Why would you want to go into the biggest league, biggest tournament in the world, and then you don't have your best guns going there? Why don't you give yourself a chance to compete? Actually, really compete. Bring a Thembinkosi Lorch in the number 10 as an option if you're not going to use him. You are telling me that you want to use a Themba Zwane. We know his quality. There's nothing wrong about calling Themba Zwane, but Themba Zwane does not have minutes in his legs. He's not playing regularly. We look, we Mamelodi Sundowns. He doesn't have match fitness.
Sure.
So he might not be as effective as we want him to be. Why don't you call a player who plays week in, week out, like a Thembinkosi Lorch? Those are the questions that we needed that were asked, but I don't think Ugutu coach has been able to answer those questions. You look at the game that we played, Ulo Kuzan against the Panama. Jaden Adams make us look good. Then it means not playing Ustole and playing Jaden, it was a good call.
Sure.
Really make us look good in that number 10. It gave us another dimension that Mbule couldn't give us. A very good call. But where did we concede? Set plays. We didn't have that player because as good as Umboraz is, but there are players who are taller than him. Let's us be honest. We understand who would be able to beat him in the air. So you need a player who can come in and complement Umboraz.
Who's assigned in that area.
In that aspect.
Yes.
You understand? Because in the space that you are going to play in, they don't forgive, my brother.
Yeah.
You know, world-class players.
Yeah.
We understand. So I don't think we have been able to put ourselves in the position whereby we are all confident as a nation to say we are going there to compete. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But we have our best players there. You understand? But there's still time.
Yeah.
We don't know what is going to happen. After that Panama, I think it was an eye-opener for him.
Yes.
To say, hey, no, I don't think we are. Because we are talking about the Panama. If we were beaten by Argentina, we're all gonna look back and be like, yeah, but it was expected.
Let's stick to it.
It's okay, you understand? But for you to not be, to dominate a Panama, it's raising a lot of questions. He needs to answer those questions, and he needs to answer those questions very fast. Otherwise, we'll go there for a holiday and give away points and come back.
And I guess the thinking was because Panama plays similar football to Mexico, so they wanted to play a similar type of brand, you know, that we're going to be encountering when we clash with Mexico in the opening game of the World Cup.
But you can't prepare for one and you're going to be playing against 5. You understand? You only go, Mexico is the first game, but you're not preparing for the second one. You understand? Because none of my players are fan about bring those boys, maybe 2 of them, these youngsters, as a surprise element.
Sure.
When things are not going out, put these boys, tell these boys, you know what? Jürgen Klopp is watching, Pep is watching. Go out there and perform, sell yourself. You'll see what these young boys will do.
Sure.
As a surprise. Nobody expected those boys. They are talking, I'm sure when they're analyzing Bafana, they're talking about Releme Fouquet, Jaden Adams, Tebogo Mokoena. They are those players that they are not talking about. Those players, you need those players to come in and also give them experience for their growth. You know.
Mkabate, in closing?
No, but to just ukubonga ukuhlala nawe kube kusivula amehlo in terms of KZN, in terms of your journey at Golden Arrows. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi nozobebukele nosibukelayo njengamanje uzofisa uyi-part 2 yokuthi sihlale nawe sithi ukuxoxa because engathi kuningi onakho mhlawumbe singakubona lapha ube assistant coach noma ube coach lapha uyothetha lapha sibonge kakhulu mangethe siyathemba ukuthi nathi sikuhlalise kahle la kule kasi locker room.
Hayi bafuthu ngiyabonga for an opportunity. You know, I think it's important to share the things that we have learned and also the things that we have experienced and also something that can also help the youngsters, you know, for them to see. Babona ukuthi yini le abaya kuyona because it looks nice with the cars and all the other flashy stuff, but there are a lot of stuff that happen behind closed doors that will really test them here. You understand? So yeah, it's a privilege. I don't take anything for granted. So also this opportunity for me means everything to me. So guys, thank you for the invite. I had a good time.
No, Zwanda, thank you so much, my brother. And I think you dealt with a lot of issues that a lot of youngsters are dealing with. You know, you spoke about mentality, you spoke about hunger, you spoke about brotherhood. You know, these are all the key assets or facets that one needs in order for you to succeed.
It's important to stay disciplined.
To stay disciplined and also to have a mentor. You know, a mentor is very, very important. My brother, we thank you so much. It's been an honor to have you here with us on the Legacy Locker Room, and we're looking forward to see what you're going to do with your career. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be having you back here again for another episode very soon.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you for tuning in, guys. It's a wrap from us, myself, Mac Dlamini, Kabateli, and of course our legend for today, Mangete. We'll see you in the next one. This has been the Legacy Locker Room. Shop.